Good afternoon, this is Jeff at Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we are at property address 1245 Northeast 111th Avenue here in Portland. Coming out here to do some cleaning. Anyway, really wasn't a line that needed cleaning to be done to it, to be honest with you. But I'm going to run the camera out here just to show you a complete scope. What you had there at 20, well, the other camera didn't quite reach it. It looked like it stopped shy of it. What you had in the line was a piece of human waste just sitting there. By the time I came through here, there was essentially no toilet paper even sitting there anymore. This is that spot we're going through right now. I've got a garden hose running right now to supply water to the line. Anyway, as you can see, we cleared it out. I just got a brand new drain cleaning machine. So I did put it down the line to use that to clear the blockage, just to use the new equipment and try it out. But it's something that human waste there, had water just continuously run down the line, it would have just moved on its way. I could have cleared it out with a camera. So anyway, and on these long sewer lines like this, these septic and cesspool conversion lines, it is extremely common to have debris stop up part way. That's common for any sewer. The only sewer lines out there that won't do that are like these new townhomes that have 20-foot long sewer lines that are pitched at a very hard angle. Just swap to 6-inch 3034 PVC there. Anyway, very, very rare for anything to go from A to B in one toilet flush. Most solids convey to the end of the line under sinks draining, showers draining, other toilet flushes, things like that. That's what ends up pushing everything all the way out, all said and done. So, which is especially so the case on septic conversions. You know, because of the expense it is to reverse the plumbing underneath a home, it's very expensive to do that. Most folks will just keep the line going out the back and then wrap them around the house. And what you end up with is a much longer sewer line than you would typically have had you built this house from inception for the line to go out the front. So, anyway, generally speaking, when you have these long lines, just to preface this, I've been doing this 15 years. I've cambered over 25,000 sewer lines, done thousands of drain cleaning jobs. Anyway, the average flag lot sewer line out there, or septic conversion like this, where you have these very long sewer lines that really weren't originally intended to be that way. Generally, I'm preempting people right out of the gate that there's probably going to be standing water in the line because of the difficulty it is in grading these super long sewer lines. Generally speaking, what you're looking at are much longer bellies with inches of standing water in them. I tend to treat them a little different than the average line because of the tight tolerances that you have to work within. So for a line that is this length, whoever installed this did a very nice job doing it. To only end up with about a 1/16 quarter inch or so of standing water in the line for a short section of pipe is generally speaking the mark of a good installer. Ideally, you don't want to have that, but these are very difficult lines to install and get perfect. Not unless you're up on a hillside where the hill provides all the natural slope. So anyway, that's the main there. We're going to let things continue draining off. The line wraps are on the left side of the home, shoot straight up the driveway. And we still have a little bit of water trickling off here. It's going to be done draining in just a moment. So what's left over in the line here after running the machine through is a just rinky-dink, thin little layer of tiny bit of grease buildup here and there. Relative to the average home, this is a very clean sewer line. I start getting concerned about grease buildup and cleaning it once you have a continuous layer across the flow line throughout the entire pipe. And usually in order to accomplish that, you end up with about a 1/4 inch thick layer of grease buildup minimum to get to that point. And we are nowhere near that in this line. So all the 3034 PVC pipe looks good here. Drains off very nicely. I just turned on the water for just a second here just to help clear my lens up. Sorry to make you watch this part. I can't have the camera live and still watch things without the recorder running. And on the note of grease buildup, longer sewer lines are more prone to it. This household has been doing a very good job at not contributing. In fact, relative to the last time I scoped it, it doesn't appear the line has changed at all, which is a great sign. Anytime you put any fats down the line, they tend to build up in the sewer pipe. And you want to be extra vigilant in doing so on longer lines, just because anything that goes down these has to traverse a much longer section of pipe than typical. So if you're newer to home ownership, kind of the best rule to live by that mitigates most everything, like what this house is doing, for instance, is a good job. It's mitigating the vast majority. I don't expect anyone to literally avoid every drop from going down the line. It's pretty hard to do that. But if you've got enough grease or oil on your pans, if you were to take that pan and turn it sideways, if there is enough on there that it runs off the pan in beads or worse, it's at that point you want to do something about it. You let the pan cool down, wipe it out with a paper towel, and or when it's still in a hotter liquid state, you can put it down something that handles high heat, like a metal can, something of that nature. You just want to avoid it from going down the line. A thin little coating of PAM spray, for instance, not a big deal. Hot water and soap handles that. And if you do know that a reasonable amount of it got down the line, what you want to do, especially on a line this length, it takes a minute for water to get from A to B on a line this long. Here, I would probably leave your hot water running for a full 2 minutes after your last dish was scrubbed off. That helps to ensure that anything that did get down the line remains melted and emulsified until it gets all the way out. So I'm just letting the last little bits of that water drain off there. There's still a tiny bit trickling through the pipe here, it looks like. Yeah, I'm going to pause for just a second. Anyway, none of that water there is standing water. It's just trickling off. I'm trying to get it fully drained out here. Yeah, what you did have in the line originally was certainly a more sizable amount of human waste there, a little bigger than average, but anyway, common for stuff like that to stop up partway down line. And we are just about to go back through the little belly in the line here. So that thing dissipates off there at about 22, 23 feet right on that turn. That little bit of flake in the line there is the interior pipe here is cast iron. So you get a little bit of rust like that comes off that stuff. Now it's from here to right around 18 feet out to about 24 feet there. You have about a 1/16 to a 1/4 inch of standing water. Very, very minor. Extremely. Especially considering the length of this line. I see bellies far, far larger than that on 40-foot sewer lines that have no business having any standing water in them. Now, for a 100-foot long install like this is a very nicely done sewer. And like this part of the line, for instance, this is not a part of the line that the machine's even running through, really. So it's a very clean sewer line, zero level of buildup. You have a tiny little bit of grease buildup in the line, but not the kind of buildup that you see when a problem is recurring over and over again. That's where you get thick ridges of stuff going up the sidewalls, the top of the pipe, things like that. And for reference, sorry if I'm repeating myself here, where I typically start to recommend repairs at this point in my career, 15 years of doing this, is at a 5-foot section of pipe at minimum with at least 1 inch of water. That's static with no water running at all. Even at that point in a 4-inch plastic smooth-walled pipe, it's still, honestly, probably 80% up to the homeowner as to whether something like that even manifests itself. And by that, I mean abusing the sewer line. What you have here is extremely minor. All the pipe is intact, good flow, end to end. Sewer line is functioning properly at this time.